Now, D-U-Z, Does, brings you the Goldbergs.
You? Does everybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends, the Goldbergs, are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap that does everything in your wash. Let's see. 5'2", eyes of blue. Say there, lady, I've been looking for you.
Me?
Uh-huh. Aren't you a lady who didn't
what?
Didn't know Does is best. That Does, D-U-Z, does everything in your wash.
I didn't, not so long ago. And what a time wash day was then. I never could get my husband's work pants clean without scrubbing them to pieces. And my towels always looked so dingy. And my nice rayons. Well, the less said about the colors, the better.
High time you changed from a lady who didn't to a lady who does. Because Does, the new kind of soap, does best. It does everything in your wash. For your towels, it gives you unsurpassed whiteness. For grimy work clothes, unbeaten cleaning power. And for the nice colors you wash, greater safety.
I learned all that mighty quick. My first time I ever does those work pants, I knew my hard scrubbing days were over.
Sure, Does can't be beat for cleaning power.
And when I saw what Does does for towels, I said, that's what I call a really white.
Of course. No soap made washes whiter than Does.
Does leaves my pretty colors brighter, too.
Sure, it's actually safer for colors. You see, ladies, Does really does everything. It's the soap that's been proved best. Yes, in actual comparisons with 25 different wash day soaps, Does beat 'em all with its amazing combination of white washes, suds for cleaning, and safety to colors. So be a lady who does. You'll find Does does best. Does does everything. Now Does invite you to visit the Goldbergs. Molly is learning early that the path of public life sometimes leads to dangers in one's private life. When she agreed to accept the nomination for the city council vacancy, Molly had no inkling of events to come. Who could have foreseen that Elizabeth Neal, on her way to tell the truth about Edward Reynolds, would disappear completely? And who would have dared guess that Reynolds himself might be responsible for her disappearance? Now Molly is nervously pacing the outer corridor of the meeting hall, waiting for Rosie to arrive. When the telephone rang so insistently a while back, Molly finally rushed out to answer, but the other party had hung up. Now Molly is convinced it had something to do with Rosie. She's talking to Bertie. Listen.
Hello?
Bertie.
Hello?
Bertie, Bruce said not to answer the telephone. I answered already. There was nobody on the wire.
Mrs. Goldberg, please. Bruce Hanley is not taking this situation seriously enough. Hello?
So who is it?
There's nobody on the line now.
They hung, I told you.
Of course.
See that? Who do you think was calling?
I'm not a clairvoyant, Mrs. Goldberg, but I assure you it had something to do with Mr. Reynolds and Elizabeth Neal.
Bertie, why are you concentrating so exclusively on Mr. Reynolds and Elizabeth Neal?
How can you ask such a question, Mrs. Goldberg?
Nobody but you, Bertie, darling. Nobody but you in the whole assemblage of the whole meeting hall is so concerned and is thinking the worst. After all, Bruce Hanley knows Mr. Reynolds longer and better than you do, and he's not worried.
Mr. Hanley may know Mr. Reynolds longer than I do, Mrs. Goldberg, but I doubt very much if he knows him better than I do.
I don't think, Bertie, if you'll excuse me, I don't think you ever spoke a sentence with Mr. Reynolds.
Listen, I didn't have to, Mrs. Goldberg. I know the type. I know men, Mrs. Goldberg, and don't tell me you're not nervous. I can see that you are.
So my nervousness, Bertie, darling, and your nervousness, dearie, are not cooperating, cannot coincide with your nervousness. I'm nervous because Rosalie is walking on a dark, lonesome road all alone, and that's why I'm nervous. And then if she was coming, so where is she?
Listen, I'm not worried about Rosie.
Well,
she'll be here. What are you looking for?
I thought I had a headache pill in my pocketbook.
Wait. Take one of mine.
You have one? Thank you.
I thought I was high-strung. Goodness.
Not my high string, Bertie, dear. It's not my high string. It's Rosalie coming, and then it's the election, and then all of a suddenly, and in the Middle Ages of my life, I'm a councilwoman. That's why.
Listen, here's one of my pills. And sit down and relax. Wait, I'll get you some water.
Please. Thank you very much.
It's just that public life is something new to you, Mrs. Goldberg.
Of course it's new. Did you ever have so much to think about, Bertie, that you didn't have enough compartments in your head to regulate your ideas?
Of course. Everybody has moments like that, Mrs. Goldberg. Here, swallow this pill.
Thank you.
It's one of my special prescription pills.
Yeah.
I'm like a lost person without them. My husband used to bring home boxes of them to me. Like candy, I took them here.
Yeah.
Now, don't talk. Just relax.
I'm trying very hard. I don't know what to think of first. If I should think of Amadeus, I should think of Mr. Goldberg, when he'll be home, and where he is and what. I got a letter. It's already 10 days already, Bertie. I didn't hear a word from Mr. Goldberg. I didn't hear a word from Sammy. I'm not mentioning it here. Now with the council, Mr. Goldberg said I shouldn't be. Now I am. I don't know. Guess I have to swallow this whole...
Yes.
Oh, my, such a big pill. Give me the water, darling.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Oh, told Bruce I'll be right back.
Sit quiet. Do you want me to fan you here?
No, I'm all right. Maybe I'll get my coat and I'll walk up the road a spell and meet Rosalie.
Well, I wouldn't do that. Maybe she'll miss you. Or you'll miss her. You don't know what road she's taking.
Rosalie's coming. It must be something most important, Bertie.
Well, there's no sense in speculating, Mrs. Goldberg.
Why don't you call Seymour? Maybe he'll tell you what he wouldn't tell me.
I'll call him if you want me to.
Please, Bertie, please. You call him and I'll walk up the road a ways.
Listen, there's no point in doing that, Mrs. Goldberg. You'll be breaking up the meeting. At least wait until I call my brother.
The phone is here, Bertie, dear. It's right here. Do you have a nickel?
I think so.
Huh?
No, I haven't.
Wait, I'll look in my pocketbook. I'll see if I have. Wait a minute. I don't know. It comes to look in my pocketbook. I have everything. My whole house I have in my pocketbook. When I want to look for a nickel, everything I have. I don't know why it comes to some pocketbook. I don't know. Here. Oh, here, a nickel? Here. Here's a nickel. Here, darling. Here's a nickel and call, Bertie. Yes, dear. Here, dear. Here, call, Bertie. Here. Here, dear. Oh, Bertie, dear. Well...
Is the pill working?
Huh? I think so.
I'm sure it is. Your eyes look bright.
So call, Bertie, please.
If it's anything that's going to disturb you, Mrs. Goldberg, I'm not going to tell you, so I might just as well save the nickel.
Just because I have a headache?
Listen, what you have isn't a headache, Mrs. Goldberg. It's an emotional upset.
No, whatever it is, it is. Call, Bertie, please.
Listen, I've been through so much in my life, Mrs. Goldberg, that I've learned to control my emotions. When a woman is loved and lost like I have, she can take anything that comes in life.
I'm just concerned about Rosalie, Bertie. Not so emotional, and I'm just concerned about taking the responsibility of the councilship. If it means such a controversy with Mr. Reynolds.
Listen, we've been through all that, Mrs. Goldberg. You can't assume public office without taking on the responsibility it entails. After all, you know the saying, the king does not rest easily on his pillow.
Call Seymour, yes, Bertie, please.
Yes, listen.
Please.
I will if you insist.
And whatever it is, tell me, Bertie.
I'll use my discretion about that, Mrs. Goldberg.
So call. Oh, wait.
The Goldberg residence, please. How's your headache?
Better.
See that? That's why I'm never without those pills. If I can find the prescription, I'll let you have it.
Thank you.
Listen, at your age especially, Mrs. Goldberg, you should never be without them. I'm younger than you.
Hello?
Seymour?
Is Rosie there yet?
No, she isn't.
What is it?
Listen, whatever it was you couldn't tell Mrs. Goldberg, Seymour, perhaps you can tell me.
Yeah, perhaps. That's right.
What?
If I couldn't tell Mrs. Goldberg, I certainly can't tell you.
Why?
When Rosie gets there, she'll tell you.
Has it anything to do with Mr. Reynolds?
It has.
What?
That's all I can divulge.
Listen, Seymour, you're talking to your sister.
I'm perfectly aware of that.
What?
Bertie, please.
Seymour, I'm asking a very pertinent question.
And I'm answering that very pertinent question.
Seymour, too many things have happened tonight to me for you to take this attitude.
If you don't want me to hang up, you better stop.
Listen, stop playing on my emotions, Seymour.
Well, then you stop asking me questions.
If you know the answers to the questions, what right have you to refuse to answer them?
Stop being dramatic, Bertie. Wait for television.
Listen, you're in quite a mood tonight, aren't you, my dear brother?
Yes, my dear sister. Is Mrs. Goldberg a councilwoman yet?
Seymour!
I'm going to hang up before I say too much.
Seymour, what did you hear and what do you know?
Well, I know that Mr. Reynolds is on his way to the meeting. and that he was seen 50 miles away from Glastonbury.
And?
And Elizabeth Neal is not with him.
Listen, how do you know? Where did you get your information?
If Rosie chooses to tell you, she will. I won't. Goodbye.
Seymour!
Goodbye.
Seymour! You see, I knew it. I felt it.
What, Bertie? Tell me.
Mrs. Goldberg, don't ever doubt me. When I have a feeling about anything.
What is it? So tell me about
Mr. Reynolds is on his way to the meeting.
Yeah?
He was seen by somebody 50 miles from Glastonbury.
So?
Mrs. Goldberg, what was he doing 50 miles away from Glastonbury?
But who saw him, Bertie?
I don't know.
Was Elizabeth Neal also?
Of course not, Mrs. Goldberg, of course not. Oh, I hope I don't give you my last pill. Did I give you my last pill? I don't know. Oh, that poor woman. To meet such a fate.
How sure are you she met her fate?
I'm as sure as I'm swallowing this pill. Go in, Mrs. Goldberg, and tell Bruce Hanley.
What shall I tell him, Bertie?
Don't mince words, Mrs. Goldberg.
Rosalie, you see?
Listen, we know.
Rosalie? Huh? What is it? What?
Listen,
Well, what do you know?
Seymour said you would tell us everything. What?
Well, what did Seymour tell you?
Mr. Reynolds is on his way to the meeting.
And what else? Well, Rosalie, what else is there to tell? Rosalie, what else is there to tell? Every syllable and every word I want to know. Why did you walk on the Lonesome Road? When did you ever not walk past the cemetery all alone and to walk the whole distance all alone? You by yourself? It must be important. What is it?
Ma.
What is there to tell?
Nothing, Ma, because you're nominated yet.
That's not important now, Rosie.
But it is.
Who called you, Rosalie?
Somebody that saw Mr. Reynolds.
Go in, Mrs. Goldberg.
Rosalie, come inside.
I'll be inside in a minute,
Huh?
Ma.
Mr. Hanley. Rose.
Bertie,
Yes, Rosie. Don't keep anything from me, please.
it's just that my father is home.
Is that all?
No, he's driving home with Mr. Reynolds.
Does he know
What?
that Elizabeth Neal may have been murdered in that car?
Now, when I say does is best, it does everything in your wash. I want you to realize
Say, why
that...
don't you tell him how good Does is for dishes, too?
Well, I was just going to. Say, you seem to know all about it.
You bet I do. I've tried all sorts of soap in my dishpan, and Does beats them all.
Well, then you'll agree this new kind of soap really does everything for dishes.
You said it. Why, I've never seen such suds. Last right through the whole job.
Does suds stand up till the last dish is done.
No waiting around for 'em either. They pop up soon as you pour in the water.
Uh-huh. Keep right on standing up, too. You don't have to keep adding soap.
And the way the Does goes after grease. Lickety-cut.
Does gives you truly fast action on grease. There's no hard scouring. It's a regular whiz at cleaning up sticky frying pans.
Of course, the best thing about Does is the way it treats my hands.
Ah, Does specially. Does is actually kinder to hands than any other leading wash day soap.
Like you say, Does best.
Yes, in the dishpan, too. Does everything. Well, Bertie certainly has a way of putting things bluntly. But Rosie herself was thinking the very same thing. Jake, alone with Reynolds, is in the very car in which Elizabeth Neal may have taken her last ride. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. This is Clayton Collier saying good day for the makers of Does, the soap that does everything in your wash. Save used fat. That fat can help save an arm, a leg, a life. Every day, save every drop of used fat.